Add him to the list.
I'm not back in the habit of checking. Should we start? Zoom? All right. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you and welcome to the regular school committee meeting of Monday, January 22nd, 2018. This is your notice that this meeting is being electronically recorded. We're going to start tonight with one of our spotlight events, and tonight it will be the Studley Elementary School. So I'll ask Principal De Palma and her staff and team to come forward. Welcome. I don't know if Central Office wants to give a brief introduction or just turn it right over to Principal De Palma.
We're very excited to have Studley here this evening to share their good work, and with that I will turn it over to Ms. De Palma.
Thank you to all of you for allowing us this opportunity to show what Studley's been up to for the last year. We're very excited about a lot of things that are going on in the building. I have with me Lisa Boyle, who is our ELA coach, along with Mrs. Withers, who are technology teacher and also our head teacher. I'm Joanne De Palma, I'm the principal of Studley Elementary. I also have several friends with us today. We have had a very exciting year. Last year we were able to feature some fantastic things that were going on, and we're really happy to say that we were able to build upon that for this year. And I also hear tell that we started a trend with videos, which is great for us. We're going to kind of cover a couple of things: what's new at the school, what's happening currently, and pieces that we still have in place, and then what's coming next for us as we move forward. This is one of my favorite bulletin boards in the building right now. I think it kind of sums us up well. We like to work hard at going further and reaching higher. Should that change?
It did.
Oh, good. I have to give it a time. Okay. First thing, have you seen our new cafeteria? If you haven't, I'm going to show you some pictures of it. It is fantastic. Over the summer, we were able to work on repainting, establish a brand new stage placed in, because we really didn't have a place for our families to gather that we didn't have to kind of put together. You can speak to that, I'm sure. We were able to put in a projector system along with a sound system and lighting that we found, discovered in our gym, that stage lighting that we were able to move into the cafeteria and repurpose. We now have yoga sessions, believe it or not, in one of our classrooms. We have 2 PE teachers currently. One focuses on wellness. She does a lot of yoga class sessions along with mindfulness, second step. She's been very involved with the building as a whole and becoming more and more involved every day. Have you heard about Gigi? If you haven't heard about it, ST Math is a big deal at our school, along with our new STEAM work that we've been bringing in our sciences and bringing science back to life in a full-blown manner, and 3D printing anyone, which I brought, which we'll show you a little later. This is a 3D rendition of Studley Elementary. So if you've ever wanted to see what it looks like, not the school, but a 3D printing piece, this is what was engineered by in the school and printed out. It did take how many?
All day.
Couple tries, yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, a couple tries and all day. It was a learning curve. So we can share that as well. So our cafeteria. To the left, you'll see a couple of pictures of the before. Well, that was summer when we ripped off part of the walls that were just covered with cardboard and looking very aged. Kind of needed a change. We discovered the old table sets that were under there from the old cafeteria when it used to drop down. We changed the color, as you can see over on the right, kind of realigned the whole area, and now we have a wonderful stage setting along with projector and the ability to show movies. As a matter of fact, the video you'll be seeing at the end of this will be featured there tomorrow through all 3 lunches. Our yoga and mindfulness groups over here. We were lucky enough to get a donation of about 60 mats, yoga mats, and have been putting them to good use. The kids thoroughly enjoy it. They can pose really well. I was in there one day and I just couldn't keep up. And there's our Gigi. She's up, or he or she is up on the right. The students have taken to ST Math, I would say.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
nicely.
enjoy it.
And they use it consistently. We're certainly building their skills. Even the kids who were hesitant at the beginning are now involved in fully moving forward with the program itself. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Science. On the right of this, you'll see the rendition of the Studley Elementary School and the programming, the app, along with the students watching the printing. That was actually our smaller version of the school that's been expanded now. It is very pink. But the kids they come by often. They love to watch it. They like to be a part of it, and as we grow and develop new spaces in the building and new focuses, we'll be able to use that more and more. Our PTO has also agreed to support the funding needed to kind of provide the materials. So that was fantastic. We're very happy to hear that. The science on the left is our STEAM one of our STEAM challenges put together by Miss Marcette, our new STEAM coach for the school. And the kids are thoroughly enjoying that. It goes from engineering to magnetic work to just wonderful opportunities for the entire school, every grade level, to participate in and take data and kind of share what's going on. The kids get very excited. PBIS, I know you hear about it often, and we continue focusing very strongly in this area. Our new additions over the past year have been the Golden Spork, which who knew a sport could have purpose as much as this spork. The kids love to earn the Golden Spork. It's for showing respect, responsibility, and safety in the cafeteria. The grade level that earns it gets a spork on their graph piece. When they hit 5, they get to have extra recess. The announcement of the Golden Spork at the end of the day
It's huge.
is huge. You could hear a pin drop in the building to find out who won. We also continue to use our ticket system where we're really focused on positive behaviors and kids caught doing the right thing. We also have a reserve table you can trade in your tickets for, so they can sign up in the reserve book. They can invite a friend to join them for lunch, and they have a special table with activities and things like that just for them. The kids are announced. We have several students announced every day that are pulled from a raffle. Tickets are pretty wanted hot commodities in the building, and the students really appreciate the ticket itself and the moment of hearing, "You did a great job. We're really proud of you. I love the way you're walking down the hall." That's really their moment, and they appreciate that. And just the general recognition we'll continue to build upon. No, we did have to feature this day. This is we had no power, no problem day. As you can imagine, it was a little stressful, that day, and we weren't quite sure what we're going to do and get through. Every teacher in that building came together. We had a plan before we opened. We knew what we were going to be doing, what parts of the building were going to be in use. And I have to say, it was one of the best days we've ever had.
Yeah, after reflecting on it afterwards, it was just a day of, out of the ordinary, everyone came together and it was a nice, calm day where the kids could really get involved and be hands-on with a lot of things.
It was fantastic. Our atrium, of course, was in full use. There's a lot of nice community work being done. The kids were enjoying coming together. It's one of those things we actually want to do again, which spoke volumes for our staff and our kids. And the kids, I can't tell you the feedback. The positive feedback that we received, kids going home, was the best day ever. It was amazing. So some of the things that we have going on right now, we continue with our reading streak. ECRI is still in use, the enhanced core reading instruction. Everyday math certainly still in full swing. Math reasoning has been introduced this year by Ms. Morissette. There's a sample of it down in the right-hand corner. That's going to be something that we're going to be growing as we move forward. It's really allowing kids the opportunity to think through and have a set method of thought through the process. Lexia, of course, we use quite a bit. ST Math is regularly seen and used. Actually, that's a daily activity. Coding with Ms. Withers in the computer lab. STEAM activities all the time. We're doing a lot more work with flexible seating, where kids have the opportunity to choose how they're sitting in the classrooms. We have one class that's kind of given over to that, which is not easy to do, to say we're going to really try something and commit to something. There's floor seatings, hokey chairs, bean
Half
bags.
desks for the kids to kneel on or sit on a cushion.
Yeah. And we've found that to be very successful. That's taking a step out of the norm. You don't have a traditional seating plan by any means, and it changes daily. So the teacher really committed to that. Our critical thinking, we focus on that a lot throughout the building and everything that we do, trying to get kids to think big. Interactive notebooks, Chromebook-based lessons. I have to say our Chromebooks they're rarely off. Mm-hmm. They're moving throughout the building and constantly in use. Stock market, we did win. Mrs. Withers and her team won first prize in that last year. Parent volunteers are, I would say that they're the backbone of our building. We have parent volunteers every day. As a matter of fact, this week and last week we had several of them helping out, just kind of getting through some office pieces, and they were very handy, very supportive of other teachers and staff and families. Reading buddies, and the list, have I missed something? I try to be pretty inclusive there. We also, that's a sample of, in the middle with all the students, that was Brennan coming to visit with us because we had a guest reader that day. The I Survived author was there. It was nice to have Brennan come to us and join us and be as a community event. We'd like to do more of that. I know Dr. Souza and I have spoken about that often. Our community. I can't say enough about our community. When I speak of our community, I definitely mean our students, our families and our staff as one. I really feel that it's a particular strength of ours that we come together, we do things together, we try to problem solve together, we move forward together. It's a really strong feeling and sense of community at all times. We have so many events. Some of our new things, so this year, Mrs. Boyle added Alexia Night to help our first grade parents with the use of Lexia, because we can send it home, but if you don't know what it is, it's kind of hard to do. That was a success. We had several families in to kind of learn. Right? Our high five day with our local police department was a big day.
Yeah.
The kids were having a grand time. Our pumpkin glow grows yearly. If you've ever been, it's probably twice the size that it was the last time you came by. We also moved it indoors, so now our atrium is where we have it, which has been nice. As I move forward, I guess it's that. So what's next? We want to continue to grow and develop our PBIS culture. We feel that it's been beneficial. We feel that it's something we want to focus on even more so, make it more effective. Our team is definitely, I think, committed to that, and the students definitely see and feel the positive conversations and the lesson planning. It's made a difference. Growing our flexible seating options as we move out of just our typical, we want to see that more often throughout our school. We want kids to have more options. We do feel it helps with a lot of different situations. I'm looking into developing and bringing into an internal mentoring program for students where our third grade students would take on our K students and then rotate through with them to have a student connection automatically when they come into the school. Our second grade, well, we have to figure that out. But K1, it would allow for connections for those 2 years. And we'd be inviting those students to the fourth grade graduation to see their buddies move on. Increasing our connections with the Attleboro Community Academy, which we started this year. It just began for us. This is kind of new for us. We've invited students in to come and help teach our students. And it's been wonderful for both groups. We're very, very proud of that. We've started with one classroom at this time, but we hope to build that. We have many, many volunteers from the high school, our community students coming over to do community service. We just get six new students coming over, and we have 8 for the early childhood program that come over to help us. We're looking at putting together the makerspace, which we can't wait. That's actually something we're really moving forward with. We have to catch up to some of our peers in that area. And increased peer observations, meaning teachers observing each other. It's been a long time conversation, and it's something we want to do more of and really be able to put into place. And we find that our teachers are really, they're asking for, they want to see what's new. They want to bring it in. So and we want to continue to welcome innovative thoughts and ideas. We always want to be open to what possibilities there are out there for our kids. Our students come first. We need to serve them best. So we have the Studley highlights video. You're going to have to hang out with us for another 3 minutes. All right, so this is why you're here. We hope you enjoy it.
Adam to the left.
I'm not back in the habit of checking.
The clap out is our same time. So that's kind of who we are. There's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of joy at our building. We believe in what we do. We enjoy what we do. Our kids enjoy what they do. It's a very strong community. Like I said, the fourth grade clap out is how we started last year. And it was our way of wishing our fourth graders well. The entire school lined the halls, and we clapped them all the way back to their classrooms, and they received applause all the way through. So it's our new tradition. So that's where we are right now. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments? Mr. Larson?
It's a great building. Every time I go and have an opportunity to visit, the energy level in there is amazing all the time. It's just, you guys do a great job.
Thank you.
Mr. Geddes?
As a proud Studley parent and alum, scary enough. I'll echo Mr. Larson's sentiment that it's a great building. My daughter's in kindergarten. She already loves all of the service that's done, fundraising, food drives, things like that. But I recently had a conversation with a parent who moved here from another community, tough family situation. So they were new to the district this year. And last week I was talking to her, and she had nothing but praise for the Studley community. Studley and Brennan. She has one at each. And she got emotional about how supportive the Studley community has been for her. So thank you guys for everything you do.
Thank you again. You know that we love Studley here. You guys do a great job. You guys do a great job reaching out to the community as a whole. You have a building atmosphere, I think, that the other buildings strive for. So keep up the good work, and we look forward to hearing from you next year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right? Huh? Huh? It's not, there's the one for SAC? Yeah.
Yep, we did.
Got it?
Okay, we'll move on to our Student Advisory Council update and around Attleboro. Mr. Perry?
Thanks, guys. So here's around Attleboro right now. On January 25th, it's gonna be Sports Spirit Day, and that's for Willett Elementary. 26th, PTO for it's gonna be like a little day, Providence Bruins Family Night, and that's for Thatcher, and that's at 7:05 to 9, and that's at Dunkin' Donut Center. 26th, Willett Family Fitness Night, and that's at Willett, and that's at 6 to 7:30. And School Spirit Day for Thatcher, second. Middle school, 24th, Family Paint Night, that's 6 to 7, that's for Koala. Another Koala event, 26th, Cougar Pride Breakfast, that's at 9 to 10. For the 30th, SBIRT screenings, that's for grade 7, that's at Brennan. The second for Koala is a assembly for a jury commissioner. February 9th, Brennan is having a Battlegrounds laser tag. The 9th, for Brennan, it's going to be movie, I want to say that, it's a Martini. 2:30 to 4:30, it's Brennan. The high school, it's going to be advisory the 25th and the 8th. 31st is going to be Balfour ring ceremony for everyone to order a ring. And the 5th through the 6th is MCAS for biology. For community engagement, it's Blue Steam Ahead Night coming up on February 15th for grades pre-K to 12. Plus, an SIC update. We're teaming up with the Florida Plunge and Project Unite, and we're going to be having a recycling to be part of the fundraising process. So we talked to them, and so what we're thinking is, so people bring in bottles and everything, but then those bottles or bottles, cans, whatever they are, and you turn them in like at a Walmart or anywhere that you can turn bottles in and make some money, and that's part of the fundraising process. And that's around Attleboro right now.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Perry. Moving on to our business agenda tonight, we'll start with the report of the superintendent, Mr. Sawyer.
Thank you, Chairman Morgan. As was part of the strategic plan that you passed in 2015, January is set as our 4th progress report, which we'll be submitting to you this evening. I just wanted to say that it's hard to believe that it's already been 3 years since Ms. Scales and I worked together with a really great team of stakeholders to create a plan that we have been working with ever since. We are halfway through the 3rd year of the plan, and we'll talk a little bit at the end about where we go from here. But I just want to remind everybody that the idea of a strategy or a strategic plan is that if we commit ourselves to big picture ideas and then make sure that our actions are in line with those things, we will accomplish more over time than we would if we just are reactive to things as they come along. And that's the core idea here, and we have done that. We've committed ourselves to 3 big ideas, personalizing learning, improving the quality of learning experiences by bringing them into the 21st century, and engaging the community. And I think if we think back to where we were when we started to devise this plan and think about all the work that we've done in that vein since then and where we are now, I think that the strategic plan has really transformed the district, given us a common vision and direction, and something that will provide the foundation for what's to come. So with that, I'll turn it over to Ms. Regan to go over a little bit of the details of where we are in this particular moment.
Thank you. So we'll be reviewing the plan, giving you an idea of all the work we've done to date, and then our plans for moving forward as well. As you know, our vision is to be the center of the community, united around education, which is built upon our essential beliefs and mission to provide engaging, challenging, and inspiring experiences for all our students. Included in that are our 3 goals which have pillars for learning, culture, engagement, and infrastructure. This is the overview of our core elements and of the entire document itself. So tonight I am going to be speaking specifically about a couple initiatives. One is how we're enriching professional culture, how we're augmenting our experiential learning opportunities, and intensifying our public engagement. So for goal 1, we continue to modify the professional development that we provide for teachers. For next year, we're planning right now to provide a sequential system of offerings for teachers and staff so they can participate in a pathway that's consistent where they're learning the same information throughout the entire course or workshop and be able to stay with that same group of teachers throughout the entire time. This year, the instructional learning teams in each building developed the professional development. It's Engage Attleboro, or hashtag Engage Attleboro, which was created last year by the teams that are on the lab councils. And right now the teachers are working very closely with each other to engage the community and engage our students in positive learning experiences. As you heard Ms. DePalma say in her presentation tonight, Attleboro High School students are continuing to participate as community members in all of our elementary schools. It's a great opportunity for them to be mentors, but it's also a learning opportunity for them. And the district guidance team is still in the process of developing the individualized learning plan to make it really a process where students, families, and teachers work together to support learning in the classroom. So for goal 2, we're working with the Teaching and Learning Council and the Professional Growth Council to make a dynamic tool that focuses on instructional design, looking specifically at different examples and resources and definitions of what are the core elements of instructional design. We hope to include our district learning priorities and our exit outcomes included within that tool as well. We also work closely with Operations and Infrastructure Council as well as our technology department to create the family purchasing portal. Families can click on this on our website and they can purchase devices similar to those, or actually the same as the devices that we're currently using in our schools. And that's open year-round. We continue to work with the Massachusetts Consortium of Innovative Education Assessment, or MCIEA. Several schools are participating in that cohort of 6 districts where they're receiving professional development from the Collaborative Center for Education, or the CCE, on how to build quality performance assessments, as well as completing school quality measures, which are surveys that were completed last spring, and they're in the process of developing a data dashboard so we can share all of that information. So for goal 3, we were lucky enough to receive the Nellie Mae Education Foundation Community Engagement Grant. Through this grant, we've had several community meetings so far, and several members of the committee are on that as well. We're working really hard to reach out to diverse groups within the community. We've actually started to plan or to develop our plan based upon 3 core goals that we have. And we're always impressed with our students that are part of this. They always impress us every time they share information and their personal experiences about their education here in Attleboro.
That's my favorite part, I have to say.
I'm sorry?
So that's my favorite part.
Yes. The district travel committee has been meeting. They have created a guidelines for student travel. This is basically a manual that it shares how any educator can create an experiential learning opportunity or a travel program for a group of students. And that is almost complete. Our next district-wide travel meeting is actually March 6th at 6:30 in the Bray Auditorium. Families can come that night and hear about the different opportunities that we'll be providing for our middle school and high school students in the next few years. This year, middle school will be going to DC, Washington, DC again. They'll have that opportunity, as well as England. And Attleboro High School will be traveling to Poland and Spain, France, and Italy. So, and we couldn't do it without the support from individual from the individual donations that we receive. We're just very grateful and very lucky to all the people that continually donate to our schools, as well as the district as a whole. So we're very lucky. So where are we going? The ILP continues to rise above as the main goal we have for personalized learning. So we'll be reaching out to the ILTs in each building to really start to get some teacher feedback and to help us create the actual document and process itself. We're in the process of creating recommendations for the grade span plan, also looking closely at reviewing our technology plan, and for community engagement, we're working on our community engagement plan through the Nellie Mae Education Foundation, as well as our coaches from Great Schools Partnership and Everyday Democracy. Also looking at our communication plan and increasing our opportunities for adult education here at Attleboro High School. And so with that, Mr. Sawyer?
Yeah, so as you can see, this is taken right from the strategic plan. We are in year 3. This is progress report number 4. In June, we will submit progress report number 5. And then a year from now, we will be submitting our last progress report, number 6. Now, this is a 5-year plan, but it was really developed as a 3-year set of goals, because it's hard to predict out 5 years about exactly what you're going to need to do. And already so much has changed since where we started. You don't want to tie yourself to the actual plan when you want to really be responsive to things as they unfolded or unforeseen. So it was designed this way so that in the end of the 4th year, we would do an evaluation of the work and of the plan. And from that work, we would begin the work of a new plan in the 5th year, while we're still completing the work that will still be ongoing into that 5th year. We will simultaneously develop a new strategic plan that would then be hopefully approved in time to start a whole new 5-year cycle after that. So in many ways, we're really at the midpoint of this process. And I think it's really important that the committee understands and the community is informed that despite our many challenges in this district, we have made great strides, and that our educators come to work every day and strive to improve the quality of the education environment that we deliver to our students every day. And we're pretty proud of the work that we do, given the challenges we face.
Thank you. Questions or comments for the administration? Mr. Quinn?
This was an ambitious plan to start from. And I think we got out ahead of a lot of other districts who are now speaking this language. If you look at a lot of the teacher discussions, particularly around making learning more relevant for students, personalizing it, and creating opportunities for students to create a school space where they're engaged on a daily basis. And it continues to impress me just with how far we've come, particularly with seeking outside resources to supplement what it is that we're doing. There's so much grant work and effort that's gone in to making this cost neutral but value added. And I just think it's really commendable. I like where we're heading. And the other piece of this too is I feel like while we may swap out some initiatives, I think where we are with our mission and vision is kind of like a guiding compass, like a North Star, where we, the next strategic plan is more about action steps rather than pulling it all together. Going back to what you said, it reminded me it's the old Eisenhower quote, planning is essential, but once it gets started, the plan goes out the window. But I think we've been able to adhere to this. One question that I did have, you mentioned the role of students as productive members of a lot of the discussion. Any thought of bringing them into the professional development planning, or just getting their feedback from some of the Engage Attleboro initiatives?
Yeah, right now with the Nellie Mae Education Foundation, we're actually sending a cohort of students to professional development. It's the New England Secondary Schools Consortium. It's actually in March in Providence. They've been asked to actually present as part of a panel, and so we're hoping that they'll be able to come back and share some of that information with staff at the high school about their experiences and what they learned, because the workshops are geared for both students and educators, and having them be able to share their voice is something that we want to continue to increase.
And I know that you've got a team of teachers going down to EduCon, the national conference in
Yes.
Philadelphia this weekend, to model or to give a presentation on the student presentation days, nights that we have out in the community. Quite a few signups already for it, so it's nice that we're also able to, in that consortium of secondary schools, that we're able to model the work, so it's not just what we're doing internally, that we're sharing it out as well.
Thank you.
Mrs. Storrs?
With the goal to the district technology plan component, can you talk to that a little bit? What should we expect to see within that plan?
So currently, right now, we have a plan, and so we would like to take a close look at what we would want a classroom to look like within the next 5 years. And there's lots of ideas, and technology is changing every day, so it's hard to actually pinpoint what that would actually look like. So we want to really take a close look at where we want to go with that, and what we want our students to be able to utilize in order to be able to learn and be able to easily access all the information that's out there for them.
So are we talking all levels across every grade?
Yes.
Because, what you might need in a science class is going to be different than what you need in a math class, and so on and so on. So will the plan actually get to that level? So not just grade level, but also subject level?
Content area.
Very good, thanks.
With the community engagement piece of it, and specifically in becoming a more active community member and participant in the community at large, how has the response been from other community organizations? Because this is a big shift in how the schools have historically kind of behaved in its own silo, and trying to break out of that mold.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they say when I'm not in the room, but the feedback I've received has been very, very positive. I think people have enjoyed working with us. I think they find us to be responsive and committed partners, and that we really appreciate that a partnership goes both ways. And so we try to be good partners and to find ways to find that mutual benefit to what we do, so that our partners are benefiting from the work that we're doing together, but that our students are as well. It's really been a change. I mean, as you see with my weekly updates on Fridays, I'm sometimes surprised by how many of those community engagement entries I can string together. We're out there, every week, trying to improve relationships and to foster new ones, and to really harness all of the resources that are out there in the community that want to help us. They're out there, and I think we're doing a much better job of appreciating that and working with people.
Great. Mr. Larson?
There's a lot of different aspects to the master plan and the rest of it, but when I look at the kids making the different presentations from the different schools and the rest of it, and I look and think back to the presentations over the past years, and you can really see the plan coming through and getting down to that level where it's having an impact. So it's exciting.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Anything else on your report, Superintendent Sawyer?
That concludes my report this evening.
The next item on the business agenda is just an MSBA update. There's not really anything too new in where we are in the process. We still plan to be heard by the MSBA on February 14th for the formal vote of the schematic design that was presented. And at that point, the clock will be ticking to hold a vote for the debt exclusion. The plans have not changed at all, so the plans that we've talked about multiple times are the plans that the MSBA will be considering and hopefully approving on the 14th. One other item worth noting, I guess, is that the ballot question committee did just announce today that they're holding a kickoff rally on February 3rd at Moran's from 6 to 9. It's the Saturday before the Super Bowl, open to the public, open to all members of the community who are for it, against it, or want to learn more about it. There'll be entertainment, information, swag, things like that. So I'm sure it's an event that people will be hearing a lot more about as the next couple weeks go by. But since I did see it publicized today, I thought it was worth mentioning. And then, hopefully soon thereafter, we'll have the MSBA approval, and the Sprint campaign will be on. Mr. Geddes?
Just to add to that, I want to thank Mr. Sawyer for his ongoing presentations about the project and the need for the project. This past weekend, he and I talked to a full house at the Attleboro Public Library. Another great discussion. Just wanted to let people know we are doing 2 more events. We have the next 2 events are also at the library. Monday, January 29th at 7 p.m. and Saturday, February 10th at 9 a.m. Both of those are at the library. As part of the Blue Steam Ahead event, we will have 2 facility tours here at the high school on February 15th, the day after hopefully the MSBA has approved and all costs are finalized. So we'll have tours starting at 5:30 and 7 p.m. as part of that event. And also hearing the community's concerns about the facility tour happening on the weeknights. Thank you to Mr. Rooney, Mr. Furtado, and Mr. Parento for giving us a Sunday afternoon. So Sunday, March 4th, anyone that's interested in doing the facility tour. We'll be meeting in the mini auditorium at noon.
Mr. Quinn?
I just want to follow up. If you can't make the tour, AACS was a great partner for us to bring the tour to you. So the full tour is now online. It's being cycled on social media. But I would strongly recommend to those members of the community who know, friends, family who are not on social media, to email it to get it out to them. Because we're trying every effort to get those communications out to all members of our community. And Mr. Geddes, you've been really responsive to trying to meet people where they are. And I think we can always improve and do a better job, but we've tried to make it as accessible as possible. So if you can't come to the tour, we'll bring it to you. So check that out on social media, and please share with your networks.
And just to follow up on that, the Sun Chronicle, Mr. Hand just reported the other day that there are still a lot of questions about this project that the state rep candidates are fielding on their campaigns. So this is the best way to get that direct information are through these presentations, and we'll be trying to get more information out in other ways as well between now and whenever the vote takes place. But please join us. We want you out here.
Maybe Reddit Ask Me Anything with Mr. Sawyer.
Yeah.
Mr. Soares?
Having read some things in the paper, could you speak to the discussions that have happened with the city side?
Sure. So Superintendent and I have had a few, I guess I would say, productive conversations with the city side, bringing the city side up to speed on work that had been done on our end going up to now, and discussed why further cuts to the building wouldn't be money savers, and also any that would have a significant impact on the education provided by the building. Had a lot of productive conversations on that, and as was reported, an idea, the city came up with the idea of, rather than cut from the building, to take a portion of the cost that would have been borne by a debt exclusion on the taxpayers, and instead pay for that out of the city side. So, reducing the cost of the debt exclusion, the voters will pay for potentially by $6 million, but not reducing the cost of the building. So again, not cutting anything to the building, but at the same time, reducing the cost that the taxpayers would pay as an extra debt exclusion payment. And so that was a result of a few conversations we had. I think struck a fair compromise to where both sides started from.
Could you also speak, having read the article, it talked to about some agreement about giving up certain facilities that we're responsible for. I'm assuming that's not set in stone at this point, since it hasn't been before this governing board.
Yeah, so I think we're talking a little bit in hypotheticals to a certain extent, but the idea that was floated, because in the fiscal sustainability plan that we endorsed last November or October, we talked about selling some of our excess buildings if the high school was built, those being the old high school, or as I call it, the old Brennan on County Street, Finberg School, and Briggs Corner, and then using those proceeds, putting them in a trust fund essentially, and pulling the interest for the operating budget. And what the administration has proposed doing instead is it's just when those buildings are sold, taking the proceeds and helping to pay for a portion of this project. Now, those would probably be sold after the debt exclusion vote would pass. So my understanding is the city would have to, borrow the $6 million, whatever that is, before the buildings are sold, to then repay it from the sales proceeds. So again, instead of that going into a sustainability trust fund, it would go to reduce the cost to taxpayers.
Okay.
So, anything else? Mr. Sawyer, does that accurately reflect,
That covers it.
Mr. Furtado, anything? Thank you. And so I'm sure I'll have another update at our next meeting, although I believe our next meeting is before the 14th, so we probably won't have the official approval by the MSBA at that point, but we'll be getting there and continuing to move along at a breakneck pace. So that'll conclude our MSBA update and our business agenda for tonight. So I'll move on to the minutes. We have approval of minutes from January 8th, 2018, circulated with your packet. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Consent agenda. Motion to accept a donation in the amount of $7,000 from the Feinstein Foundation as broken down in the memorandum dated January 18th, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Quick question. In the memo, I just wanted to confirm, it looks like, are two checks indeed going to Brennan, or, okay. Wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion to accept a donation of 15 water fillers / bubblers with an estimated value of $18,000 from the YMCA of Attleboro.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Just say thank you to the YMCA for a generous donation. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to accept a donation in the amount of $500 from the Friends of Attleboro Recreation, Inc. to Attleboro High School gifts donation line.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Pursuant to the 2016-2017 Life Touch Contract subsection 12, motion to approve $8,215.60 to directly benefit the students of Quello and Thatcher, broken down in the memorandum dated January 18th, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion to accept a donation of a new Matter MOD/T 3D printer with an estimated value of $200 from an anonymous donor to the Studley Elementary School.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the donation of 2 used Toshiba Chromebooks to the Attleboro High School from Richard Sternbach with an estimated combined value of $250.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve an overnight international field trip proposal for 17 grades 9 through 12 students to attend an extracurricular hockey tournament on Martha's Vineyard from February 16th through February 18th, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion for concept approval for an overnight international field trip proposal for 6 to 10 grade 9 through 11 students to travel to Costa Rica from February 16th through February 22nd, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Quinn?
Is the size of the travel group restricted by the company or projected interest, or?
It was projected interest.
Okay.
Yep.
Any further questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion for concept approval for an overnight international field trip proposal for 80 grade 8 students to travel to our nation's capital from May 30th through June 1st, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion for concept approval for an overnight international field trip proposal for 45 grades 9 through 12 students to travel to Italy, Germany, and Switzerland in April of 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
That concludes the consent agenda. Finance and budget. Mr. Larson?
Finance and Budget Subcommittee met January 10th. Mr. Furtado helped us go through the monthly budget reports. We had an update on the MSBA update. We had an update on the air conditioning unit that is finally now on top of Hill Roberts. We had an update of the repairs to the fire suppression system over at Willett that have been taken care of. And it was my pleasure to also have along at the meeting Councilor Hall, Councilor Conti, and Councilor Delicio. They all seem to have an interest in seeing what we're up to and what we're doing, so enjoyed having their presence. Our next meeting is next month. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Mr. Larson. All right, open forum. This is the time when members of the public may address the school committee. Open forum is not a time for committee members to engage in dialogue with members of the public. Guidelines for open forum are available to you if you'd wish to see them. Please know that we are interested in what you have to say, but we cannot respond without background information on your issue. Please come forward and state your name and address if you would like to address the committee at open forum. Okay, then that will close open forum. There being no further business on the agenda tonight, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.